when a new partner comes on, we provide them with a job order. We give them details as far as what the client is looking for, the type of candidate the client's looking for, and with that, they discuss that with me, make sure they're fully aware of the job order and any questions they may have that arise out of it. Especially if they've been in healthcare before, they're a little more in tune of what they need and what comes up as far as candidate questions that they're searching. Then they're provided with sourcing leads for candidates themselves, of which their recruiters will make calls to. And generally those lists can be something that can be knocked out in 2 to 3 weeks by 2 recruiters, working on a list of 300 to 500 people. And as they are obtaining candidates, again, sometimes the candidates are great for this job order, sometimes they're great for another job order. Sometimes they run into situations where, you know, this person's looking, but they don't like this type of subspecialty, they're looking into this subspecialty. And that's when we flip over and change your hat a little bit, and their client development people start pulling in, or PSA's client development people pull in and start developing client leads for them on their own, on our own, and provide those for their other additional candidates. As they source candidates for a particular job order, those candidates are screened by the recruiter, screened by the partner, subsequently sent off to me if it's an existing client, and we go through them thoroughly, and then after that we proceed with interviews with them, and like I said before, we just basically do a conference call with that candidate, and then we have a little powwow conference afterwards and see if they're the right candidate to submit for this particular job order or for something else, or we don't want to pursue this candidate at all in case any flags come up. And we move them on to the hiring authority. I submit their, and we don't submit blind. If I've got a contract, we don't submit you blind. If we don't have a contract, we might tease you with a blind resume of somebody that you might be interested in. And we usually get feedback from our hiring authorities within a day or two, as far as, you know, yes or no, and starts looking at matching up schedules and logistics of interviewing. Candidate goes through the interview with the client. Most instances, it's at least a 2-step process for their interview, and which can take 2 to 3 weeks, depending again on logistics of everybody. And once that's done, then it's client says yes, we would like to offer him a position, or client says no, we liked it, but there was something in there that we didn't care for. And after that, they get their offer sheet, their contract, and then there's some negotiations, as there was yesterday. I couldn't believe 3 in one day. I was like, oh. 3 counter offers one day. That was bad. I was like, oh no. But all 3 worked out. Most of these people are in situations where candidates are underpaid, or their hours are just atrocious, and they're looking for something obviously with better hours, better pay, and better benefits. So in most instances, when they're making that move, and most of these people have been in their jobs 5 to 7 years, and so they're basically been sitting on that same salary or that same compensation package that they got 5 to 7 years ago, and that hasn't changed. And they realize that they're underpriced in the market, and that does allow them to make the move a little more easily. Offers made, get their start date, and we do our contracts in general 50% at start date and 50% at 30 days.